Welcome back. We are having our final conversation this morning, and as we mentioned, it's all about the awareness of diabetes. We have here with us representatives from the Belize Diabetes Association. Joining us is Dr. Gilroy Middleton Jr., and he is the Public Relations Officer. Also with us is Ms. Sharon Fraser, and she is the Legal Advisor. And also joining us is Monica Stewart, Program Advisor and Supporter of the Belize Diabetes Association. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Good morning and welcome. I always look forward to having the conversation on diabetes because we know it as one of those debilitating NDCs and also what they call a silent killer, yeah? It's hard to identify a family or a household that has not been impacted one way or another, either by a loved one or just someone that they know that has been impacted with diabetes. Of course, we also know the association as being very active in the work that it does, and we often see you guys here whenever there's the month of awareness on diabetes. But let's talk, let's get an overview of what the association is doing outside of this awareness month.
Well, to start off, we've been around for some time. We are that support group for persons living with diabetes, and just to let the public know, it's not only diabetics who are part of this association. We have supporters. Monica, for example, is not a diabetic, but she's there along with others to support those of us who are living with the condition. It's always important to get people to learn about the disease, to learn about how to support persons who have the disease. So if there are persons out there who have family members who are living with diabetes, I must tell you, and I guess my family could attest to the fact that diabetics are stubborn people. So that, remember, it also has to do with your lifestyle. So it means changing habits. It means, while some of us might develop the condition based on how we live, there are others who are predisposed based on family history. In my case, while I had family history, the first time I developed diabetes was gestational diabetes, so during pregnancy. While in most cases it goes away once you've had the baby, in other cases it remains. So, but if I knew what I knew then, I guess my lifestyle would have been different. Despite the fact that my mother had diabetes, her mother, my father's mother, so I was destined, you can say.
Predisposed on both ends.
Predisposed on both ends. Yeah. But the association is there to lend that support. Our main goal is to educate and sensitize the general public of diabetes. The fact that we're there as a support group. Sometimes it's hard living as a diabetic when persons are first diagnosed. They don't know what to do, who to talk to, what to eat, and they sometimes lead them into depressions. So that if they go to a support group and they're able to hear the stories of how people are living with it, they actually function better. I could remember there were occasions in which I'm thinking, boy, I can't get my sugar under 120. And then I go to the meeting and hear people talk about their sugar is 200, 300. And I'm saying, what am I complaining about? I just need to. So it gives you that support. It gives you that sense of, okay, I'm not in this alone. We also provide support for type 1 diabetics, which are those juvenile persons who are diagnosed from birth.
I was going to ask, what's the difference between type 1 and type 2? Because both you and Mr. Middleton have type 2, yes?
Yes. So type 1 are those persons who are born, so from birth to 24, 25. The experts are looking at whether or not 25 is the cutoff time. At a recent conference that I went, they were looking at persons, somebody who was 30 something, and diagnosing that person with type 1. No, that was pretty strange to me because from the time I've been in this movement, I've been hearing 24, 25 as type 1, but the world is developing, the research is being done. I learned that we concentrate on 3 types of diabetics: type 1, type 2, gestational. I learned that there are many subgroups to type 2, for example. So there are many other types of diabetics, and it will determine how you treat these people or us.
I'll put this out there, right? And it's an observation. I can't support it with any hard evidence, so it's anecdotal at best, right? So diabetes, in a sense, that's for everybody.
Yeah.
But it would appear to be that more black people suffer from diabetes than perhaps any other group.
That is not true,
Is
you
that
know.
true? Okay.
Because I will tell you, the country with the largest population of diabetes is China.
Wow.
Oh.
Okay.
So
we're learning.
forget about the
That
black
is
people,
interesting.
right? And next you have India. So that at these conferences we go, you see the varied ethnicities of persons who are suffering from diabetes. It's not confined to black people. Maybe we are seeing that here because we are, in terms of economic means, are at the lowest, so we don't eat the way that we should. So you are seeing that from your perspective, but when you're exposed to the bigger picture, you'll realize it's not just a black people thing. It's just that, like I tell people, you have a disease like sickle cell that people say it's a black people thing. It's not a black people thing. It's just that because of where we are, you are going based on what you see. Right? But the largest country with the largest population of diabetics are seen in China.
One of the things that I'd also like for us to explain, perhaps in the best that you guys can, because I know that you're no doctors, but what is the scientific process of how diabetes occurs, where glucose and insulin is concerned?
It has to do with your pancreas. Let me take that question as the more senior person in this group. It has to do with the insulin that is produced by your pancreas. You have persons who are born with defective pancreas, so hence type 1. And then you have those of us who over time stress, your lifestyle, you're eating badly, your whatever, it puts that strain on your pancreas and it produces less insulin. The insulin is that which is needed to convert whatever sugar that comes into your body, whether it's direct sugar or indirect sugar. So that in fact, you eat flour and flour is converted to sugar. You eat rice, it is converted to sugar. You eat an apple and that's sugar. And you need sugar. Sugar is what you need to perform all the functions.
To give you energy.
Blinking your eye, talking to me, raising your hand. You need the energy. Now, if your pancreas is not doing the conversion, it then means you get slower, you get lethargic.
Is that insulin resistance? Is that what they call that?
Well, yes, it is a form of insulin resistance because your pancreas is not working the way it should.
Okay.
Right? It's slower. Like, I can't tell you my pancreas is not working. It's just not working optimal the way it should. But things like exercise, change of lifestyle, your diet, everything can have an impact as it relates to where you are with that. You understand? And in some cases, they're now telling us, and I just learned that with type 2, if you catch it early enough, you do what you need to do, you can even reverse it. The narrative was that you can't reverse diabetes. But that is not what is coming out now from the doctors, the endocrinologists, and all those organizations that are looking at the condition now. So, as I said to you, I recently went to a diabetes congress in Abidjan, and that is what the endocrinologists are there saying. move away from the fact it cannot be reversed. But there are certain things you have to do, and there are tests that they are now doing in relation to how they can treat it based on those other subsectors of diabetes.
I want to get Dr. Middleton in the conversation. We just saw displaying on the screen some signs and symptoms that would oftentimes be associated with diabetes. As a person that is also diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, perhaps we can share some of that with the viewers, what those symptoms look like.
Okay. Well, you'll have two ends in terms of the spectrum. So in terms of the glucose level, at a high level and then at a low level. In terms of at a high level, you would have constant urination, you would have constant thirst, particularly at the nighttime, and at the lower level, you would have that dizzy feeling off balance. But the major point is that you need to know yourself. You need to keep testing so you know what your spectrum is, as the average glucose levels would relate to age. Higher at a younger age and lower as you proceed in life. So for me, it would be looking more in terms of between 90 and 130 for myself. So I know that, and I know when I'm feeling in a certain way, if I haven't eaten, the glucose level will go down. So I know specifically what to do. So you have to know the facts, and then you have to monitor yourself. And as Ms. Fraser noted, we have the monthly meetings where at the beginning of every meeting, there's a doctor that would present information to us, and then we would have individuals share in terms of what they're going through and in terms of simple, practical, actionable activities that you can do. And in the simplest sense, you have to balance your diet, your sleep, get in some exercise. And a fourth point that most people don't realize, you have to balance your mindset. Think of meditation or relaxing.
Manage your stress.
Yeah, stress actually takes it up.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Now, I wanted to also talk to Monica because, as was mentioned, you do not have diabetes, but you're here in the capacity of support that is necessary to be given to persons battling diabetes, but also you are a part of the association. Monica, I want to talk about your interest in being a part of this association in the first place.
So, my interest first developed, of course, from Ms. Fraser. And I started to attend the monthly meetings and partake in the annual activities that the association would have. And going there daily, I got to understand and learn more about diabetes, because I think some people have a misconception about diabetes, and some people feel like, oh, if it is that you have diabetes, you can't eat no sugar in it at all. You know, so there are a lot of misconceptions, and these monthly meetings do help, and also it allows persons to understand how to manage their diabetes, you know, and also give them the ability to learn how diabetes affects your entire body. And I can say that having going to the meetings, I've understand and learn how diabetes affects the hair right down to the toes.
Wow. So in terms of activities that we can expect from the association in spreading the awareness of diabetes, is there anything in particular that we can look forward to this year?
So, for instance, November is known as the month that the Belize diabetes spreads awareness. And I just want to say that even though November is recognized as the month that they spread awareness, it's done all year round, right? So what we do in the month of November is that we have specific activities that we look forward to. So for instance, this Saturday we're going to have the walk, which is Walk Out Diabetes, and then the week after we have the ride. So this weekend actually starts the month of activities, whereby we start off with the walk, and then we do a church service on the Sunday, and then we do presentations to different and various organizations. And then next week we have a 2-day ride, which would be Corozal on the Saturday, and then Kaya on the Sunday.
To Belize.
Starting off with the walk, where will the walk begin and at what time?
So it would begin at 6 a.m. from Crystal Auto Rental, and then it comes down to IT Vet,
Okay.
right on the main. So it would be a complete straight walk to IT Vet.
Pretty short.
It is.
Yeah, pretty short walk.
So that means we will see you on the Saturday.
Of course. No, I'm not even joking. This is definitely one that I want to attend. I know they like to pull my leg a lot here on live TV. But aside from that, you mentioned that there will be many other activities that will be held throughout the month. The ride that will be done the week after. Do you have any details on that? How can persons be a part? Do you have to register or pay?
Okay, so persons can follow the Belize Diabetes Association page on Facebook. Most of the activities is posted there, and if it is that persons have any questions, queries, they can also channel that through Facebook. And the office is located at the corner of that's Magazine, Central American and Mahogany Street. Right to the corner, so persons can always visit the office if it is that they have any questions. Now, just to touch on it a little, one of the things that the association tries to focus on as well is to bring the awareness from a young age. So they would be doing some presentations in the primary school and the high schools to promote the awareness as well, because we do have a couple of youths who are battling with diabetes. So it's important that they understand that they have the support at that age as well.
Wonderful. Well, for persons who would like to support, because I think that that is a representation so important, Monica, that you are showing us. How can viewers support even if they don't have diabetes, but they are moved by the cause from the association?
They could come to the office. They could definitely come to the office and partake in the monthly sessions. And in addition to that, whatever activities the office is promoting, as I mentioned, there is a lot of awareness that is done. So, for instance, the association partners with the Kidney Association. There's the
Through HECOPA, so
Right.
Ministry of Health, we do a lot of partnership with Ministry of Health. We are the main supporter for persons living with diabetes. And as Monica said, there is a monthly meeting. It's every third Saturday of the month. Normally, the meeting, well, if it's face-to-face, it's at IT Vet. We've been doing a lot of online to accommodate persons throughout the country, as opposed to just those living in Belize City. As far as the ride, I know you had asked for details. Yes, they can come and register. They have to register. In the past, it has been one of our largest fundraisers. We don't get any subvention from government. So to support our activity, to support our outreach, it's based on these rides. The ride, as I said, used to be the largest fundraiser. We do also offer monitors and strips for sale to the public. That helps with our outreach.
At economic
At
prices.
an economic price. So we have a monitor and we provide the necessary strips for it. I know a lot of times people get their relative to send them monitors to test their sugar, but they don't have the strips. Or they have to source the strips from abroad. We have that, and we've been supplying that not just only to persons living with the disease, but even to certain health centers as well. So that for that ride, and I just wanted to go back to the ride, because the more it's not for professional riders. I will tell you, there have been many of these rides that I myself have partaken. I can't right now, but I've done many rides, and I remember the very first ride, my goal was to ride from Corozal to Orange Walk, at least to that. And I was there and I'm saying, oh God, I can't do this.
It's impossible.
At the end of the day, I had always traveled on that road. I never realized it had 5 hills. Think about Corozal to Orange Walk. Think about if
didn't
you
even
are
realize
thinking
that.
any hill, there are 5
And if
on
you're not
a bicycle.
And if you're not a cyclist, you have to climb all 5.
Exactly. And no, but the thing is, all I saw when I
flats.
went on the road was that hill where the police station is in entering Orange Walk. Only that I saw. I didn't see the other ones in between that are slow and gradual. But I did it.
Okay.
I also rode from Cayo, from Santa Elena to Belmopan, and think about all those hills, people.
Yes.
One
No,
talk.
that one we
Watch
expect.
me. But I did it.
Yeah.
I did it. So if I can do it, anybody can do it. It's not a race, it is a ride. It is a fun. Let me tell you, there is nothing feels better than you are doing something and you have accomplished something, especially if you haven't done it before. I remember when in fact we took Monica and she decided to ride. And I have to thank the professional riders because they help. When it is I was tired at some point, there is this
Bring her in.
professional rider, Patrick Bennett, let me say his name, and he pushed me along. Just, Miss Mishar, you not do nothing, you just steady the bike, and he pushed.
It's an experience you
So
won't get
it's
any
an
other.
experience,
Yeah.
right. But also, I wanted to say, beside all of that, all of this is leading up to the 14th of November, which is World Diabetes Day. There will be a health fair at Battlefield Park, where we partner with other persons in this area and give information, sensitize the public on what is happening with diabetes, how they can join, whatever questions, and we are doing testing then. It's through these testings we have discovered persons who are walking around with 300, 400
And probably didn't even know.
That is through these activities we have come to sensitize persons that they're living with the conditions that they didn't know, and it's tearing their inside out. It is a silent killer. It silently affects you from your hair to your toe.
Guys, it's always a pleasure to have each of you here. Of course, we stand with you in sharing through awareness in our own platforms. We recognize the importance of doing that, so we always are thankful when we have your presence here. And of course, we wish you guys all the best in the activities set to take place next month. You'll be seeing either myself or Aunt Isani.
Both of you.
But I'll
I'll make an
definitely be
effort.
there. Yeah. But I definitely want to.
walk.
It's a short walk one Saturday. You
Yes.
take out your Saturday and decide, you know what, I'll do this. There must be somebody in your family that you can say,
It's hard
I'm
to not
walking
find
for.
one. Yeah.
If not for yourself, somebody. Because that is what I did initially. When I rode, even though I was diabetic then, I rode for my mom who had died from diabetes. So that was my goal. You pick a goal, you do it, and I felt top of the world. Nobody could explain that feeling. But I want you to have 2 of our pins.
Ooh, thank
One for you, one for Isani. So
Oh,
that
wonderful.
you can wear it for
Perfect.
the whole
Thank
month
you.
of November.
And I will. Thank you very much, guys.
you.
And we
Nice.
wish you all the best.
Thank
Thank
you.
you too.
All right, and that does it. We are wrapping up the show, and we want to say a huge thank you to all of our guests who joined us this morning. It is October 29th, and if you're celebrating a birthday today, happy birthday to you. And if you'd like to give a birthday shout out, or if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can send us an email at oye@channel5belize.com. You can also catch us on Facebook at Open Your Eyes BZ, as well as Instagram for behind the scenes contents at OYE Belize. Thank you so much for joining us, and please do us a favor and join us again tomorrow when you open your eyes.
To start your morning right.
Until then, keep your eyes, your mind.
And your heart's open.
Have a wonderful Tuesday.
Open Your Eyes was brought to you by Smart, bringing people together, and the Belize Bank, our country, your bank.